Procedures Ordinance until further consultation is made. And, so this is what we're at. We need to determine whether we're gonna vote to push this forward.
Okay. So, in regular terms,
Yep.
she's saying we don't, the way the warrant is, the
Nope,
warrant
that's
or
not
the,
Nothing to do with the warrant, but
Is that-
she validated the warrant. She says right here, she said, the format of the warrant looks good. It is directed blah, 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 by resident, by name, to the person who posts, warrant contains a date, time, so everything's in place on the warrant. Everything looks good.
okay, now, but she's saying that,
The Operational Procedures Ordinance.
that's what the
I'll
steering
write-
committee gave us.
Yes. What was given to us by the steering committee has been sent to MMA.
Yeah,
And this is the third time. Actually, I think I brought it up
Fourth
one
time.
time. The fourth time, okay.
so they're saying it's not correct.
No,
They're saying
she's
that we
not
shouldn't
saying
adopt it.
She's not saying it's not correct. She's not saying anything like
Okay,
that.
okay, that's what I mean, it's, but they're saying we shouldn't adopt it,
That's right.
She
right.
just,
but they give no reason why.
her words are, again, I do not suggest that the town vote for
They could adopt it today.
procedures ordinance without consulting
And
with
then
legal
move
counsel.
forward.
Okay.
They're all attorneys down there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's their view.
That's their view,
They
so
want us to take another step further.
Right.
where's that step?
The step would be calling, it can't be
I mean,
ordinary
anything's only as good
attorney.
as people decided to do it.
Okay, see,
So
okay,
they're saying for us to go get a legal attorney that represents the communities when they're doing this type of process.
And
Where
another
do you
thing
find
to
that?
do if you
Well,
can
you
use
find
it,
them
see if
probably
they do
the
it.
one we're in is, but that's
they don't-
a lot, that's a few bucks. We gotta remember
What do we
that's
do with
some
them?
more
They
money
may
that
go
they're
ahead.
expecting us to expend, so.
so we're gonna have to hire a lawyer to oversee. What I can understand is how, why don't they want us to do that? Is it the
I
way it's
called
written?
Lewis and asked Lewis,
Yeah, okay, yeah, I mean, nobody said nothing here.
and what we talked about was that this is an ordinance, not a set of bylaws. A set of bylaws, the selectmen can change them at
Yes.
any time.
Right,
An ordinance, it has to go to
It's
a
gotta go
town
through the
vote
town,
to
right.
get changed.
yeah,
And then, the other thing Lewis said is, there is no enforcement of this ordinance.
well, that was gonna be one of my questions
So
when
who
we come to
enforces
vote.
it anyways?
Who enforces it?
So, that was something to mention back to MMA is, hey, here's the ordinance, if the town adopts it, there's still not gonna be any, enforcement of it.
Right, like you got, say you get the ordinance of your behavior, the ethics and that thing, okay. Well, say one of the employees does something against it, what do we do? Do we write them up? You know what I mean, that, how do you enforce it? That was one of my questions that was gonna be brought up during the discussion.
Yeah.
When I thought we were going right through with this, but that was one of my deals when we had the town meeting was, how do you enforce the ordinances?
There's nobody to enforce it.
Okay, so now,
I don't know what needs to be written in there for MMA to agree that this looks good and the town should adopt this.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's
I think-
bylaws, not
Ordinance.
ordinance. So, you know, they've been running the municipals for years down at MMA. I mean, they're the
Right,
experts,
there's gonna be-
they're the experts.
there's a reason why,
Yeah.
you know, the only thing is like the steering committee has worked on this.
Oh, yeah.
And I know how it is to get kicked down, okay, when you did all this work and then poof,
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of vague areas in the whole deal, you know?
But maybe we ought to get the clarification, the exact reasoning in writing why we as a board should not adopt this
That's what I'd like to
before,
know.
because we're just. on the
Why does
subject.
Maine Municipal, they suggest we shouldn't.
Yeah. And
Why shouldn't we?
The only thing that, like when I asked Lewis about that, and
Yeah.
stuff, is it being bylaws versus ordinance?
Okay. Right, but I don't wanna change it to bylaws and instead of ordinances, because I know nothing about this. You know what I mean? I'm not on the steering committee, that's nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get the warrant, but do we wanna spend lawyer money for something that we can't do? You know, but if the people want it, I mean, they worked hard to do this much. you know, I don't know, that's,
think
I don't know where to go on it, but I only wanna do it once.
Well, the only thing is the steering committee has prepared it and sent it to us. So they all are in agreement on it,
Yep.
if it comes to us,
Yeah.
so.
Cause you brought it the first time we get the notification from them to the steering committee, and
Yeah.
they looked it over
I
and,
took it out that night, if I remember, I think it was October fifth or sixth.
Hmm.
The first time MMA had an issue, I took it right out that night. So they've known about it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna see all the work that they did go to waste, but yet, I don't wanna do it and it's not gonna be right. There's a lot of things that been done here that ain't right, and let's just slow down a little bit.
do we just approve it and approve the warrant and post it and then have the town vote on it?
Yeah, but what if it ain't right?
Well, that's not gonna matter, it's gonna be what the steering committee
I
has
don't-
come up with for the new ordinance that we abide by.
I don't believe MMA is saying that anything they prepared is wrong. I think they're just saying the way that it's packaged is wrong, calling it an
Ordinance
ordinance.
versus bylaws.
I don't know if that, cause they never really said, hey, I agree with this, I agree with this, I don't agree with that, they haven't really broke it down, even in the first letter. What was in the first letter, the changes there that they thought?
They made the changes out there that night.
Yeah,
Cause I made her,
yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted it. Remember I asked about
Want a chair, Gene?
yeah.
Was it other
the
change?
chair here, right here. You know where I asked them about breaking it down? You know, break it down into segments
Yeah,
so that people can, you know, trying to shove a whole package, ain't,
Thank
you know,
you.
cause there's probably some things in there. There's a lot of things I agree with, and there's some things I don't agree with.
but I know they mentioned it about breaking it up like the 5-man board versus the rest of it. And then you guys decided you wanted the whole thing all or none.
Well, the question that I had, there's a reason we made it ordinance. And that was that every time the board changed, if it was bylaws, they could wipe it out if they
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah, every time. Yeah.
Now,
And this is
the other,
something the town would have to vote on to change,
Yeah.
if they wanted to change.
and the other thing is, Lisa and I were just talking, if you decide not to get a vote on this right now, could we at least have the vote on the 5-member select board?
I mean, that's up to you guys to,
Yeah, but you guys didn't break it down. It's
Yeah.
all together. You'd have to
Yeah,
break
but
it.
they can separate that and present us, that's the way we offered it in the beginning, remember we said, why don't we go with 5-member select board,
Yeah.
and why don't we put the other, and they
Yeah.
wanted it together. But all we'd have to do is just kick it back, and then you guys start over again and just present us with that piece.
The biggie is
And then
we'd
do a
have to
warrant.
get it done in time for the March election.
How many days before the March election you gotta have to have that?
We gotta have 100
90.
days,
90.
90.
90?
So the only thing that has a real time urgency is the 5-man board piece. The ordinance doesn't have any, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Let me see, when's,
So the elections are what, middle of March, right?
right.
Yeah, usually.
And our steering committee doesn't write the warrant.
we
If
wrote
you,
the warrant.
Right, yeah.
So if you said you're not comfortable with doing this without the lawyer, you know,
Well, yeah.
I as
yeah.
a taxpayer would agree with that you're doing your due diligence, then at least let's get the
But if
5-man
you
board,
wanna-
because that's the only thing that has a timetable on it.
But
Well, the
you,
timetable would have to be, I think, on the 3rd of December.
Yeah, which
So,
is coming right
if
up.
we do the warrant today and agree with it to post it, then it goes to vote in December, right?
Yes, no.
The December
it-
meeting, or
December 3rd is the cutoff for us to post all of this stuff.
for the
For the
December meeting?
March, for the March election.
Okay, oh, for the March election. Oh, I thought we were.
The
voting
ordinance
on
can
it.
be voted on at any time, because that's what the ordinance is for, is a special vote. It could be at the next meeting.
Yeah,
yeah, but we
The
can't,
problem is the 5-man board has to be done before the annual town meeting, so that people can take out papers and know what they're
yeah,
running.
you're right, right.
For the person
But
that's coming in on 5 meetings.
How can we write a warrant, because it was presented to us as a package right now?
Well, we had discussed, and I wish Lorraine was here, we had discussed at that public meeting we had explaining it, if it appeared that there was a fair amount of concern about the five-member board, that we would separate and have two different votes.
That's what I asked at that, when we were at Northern
Yeah.
Maine Development, I asked,
But we didn't get that indication at
we
this
didn't,
meeting that any,
no.
you know what I mean? We
Okay.
answered questions and everybody was okay. That's why we agreed to go ahead.
to go all together.
Right.
But we can't write a warrant right now, because right now it's together.
There was some,
Yeah.
there was some questions, but most of it was, what if you can't find five?
Oh, yeah, there's,
Right.
I can tell you there's gonna be some
And so
questions.
at the last steering committee meeting, they changed, or they added a short paragraph to it. I missed the meeting, but I voted on it before I went to
Well,
an appointment.
We gotta vote this.
I think we need to further look into that, to see if, what we're gonna give the guidance from that, to make sure we're doing it,
Okay,
Well,
we're
so,
doing the town right.
But the thing of it is if you're gonna go with five-man board, we gotta have this all done.
by
So
Tuesday,
that can be voted on in order to put them in office in March.
right, cause you gotta have you gotta post the warrant 14 days before the selectmen. And then at the selectmen meeting, that gives you 100 days or 90 days
Yeah,
to the election.
yeah.
But right now, the way they got, they presented the package with everything all included. So if we write a warrant, that's for everything included right now.
Well, can't you guys break it up? Don't you-
We can't, we're not the steering committee. That's why I asked them at the meeting that night we had at Northern Maine Development was, if you broke it up, you got better chance of getting stuff.
Well, if you vote it down, we can send out an emergency thing for the committee, and it's very easy to write the warrant to move from a 3 to a 5-man. Can be sent back this afternoon, but you'd have to call another emergency meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care as long as we gotta get something done. We're just going around.
I mean, we
and around.
discussed it as a committee.
Away, I believe.
We discussed it as a committee, we all agreed we would separate it if we had to.
We need to
Okay.
talk to MMA. before we
Joey?
do anything.
Okay,
That's what we gotta do.
Is Lorraine
okay,
there?
so,
We do need to.
Yeah, we gotta talk, we gotta talk to MMA before we
Good
do
for it,
anything.
I think.
on that.
This Gene
okay,
Bradbury.
and
I met
Yeah.
Gene Bradbury. I met
before we do anything,
Before we do, we better talk, we better check with them before we do anything.
okay?
I just got a question for
I don't get tired of getting blamed all the time. You know, we don't need to,
Right, we're not gonna ram it down.
no, because I don't know,
Okay,
and I wanna know.
okay.
But,
So can we get that rewritten and back to them by?
All right, so we're gonna leave
I
that
can
table,
write
we're
it
gonna
right
table
up.
that till we get ahold of MMA.
No, we gotta vote
think
today.
Jane might
Oh,
be-
no.
man, you gotta vote on that warrant today, cause something's gonna be done before, it's gonna be listed
That's what I'm
Tuesday.
saying, you can't post the warrant until we talk to MMA.
Right.
So we're gonna table that until we talk to MMA. We're not gonna vote on a warrant today because we haven't talked to MMA today.
We lost
About
the
So the
Supper.
meeting today was to vote
Lost
on
the
the
signal.
warrant.
Yeah,
So we're just gonna say we can't take a vote.
we can't take a vote on that until we talk to MMA on that. They're our go-to for
Yeah.
that.
So the MMA is gonna say the 5-man board is perfectly legal, that's not the issue.
Probably.
But they don't.
We wanna make sure,
We
though.
gotta make sure.
We gotta
that's
make
what
sure.
they're gonna say.
That's
We gotta make
fine,
sure.
I don't
The only
mind you
thing
doing
is-
your due
is,
diligence.
okay, the
As
warrant
long as you
that
can get
was
it-
Brought to us by Lorraine,
Yes.
okay?
Joe,
Is
hey,
that, okay?
look, I'm
But
at the
would that
selectmen's
be-
meeting.
That's gonna be rewritten,
Maine,
is that warrant
You
there
still
gonna be
there?
rewritten? Cause you're only gonna have
I
Monday.
keep losing the signal.
You're only gonna have one day, cause
Maine
Friday,
Municipal
this Friday is,
recommended
right.
not enacting the
You know, we're at the
ordinances.
deadline, you know?
They want some time to look at it, but they wanna know if we as a committee
We're at their mercy on
would
that.
have them do a warrant
Before
for
we
the
vote
5-member
on it,
board,
better
so
do
we
that.
could at least get that done
You don't,
in time for the March election.
So,
correct.
if the steering committee comes to us and says they wanna divide, and they give us in writing or whatever, they're gonna divide.
Yeah,
Okay, if they do that, whatever, today, tomorrow, whatever, Monday morning, we present that to Maine Municipal and say, is this 5-man board warrant right? And if they say yes, we posted Friday, and the ordinance and stuff is put to one side for now.
Well, they,
We wanna know
it
why
sounds
they
like
don't want
they've
us
got
to
another
do
letter right
Well,
now,
first.
because
They
there's
want it
no
all in one batch.
enforcement.
Right, but that's
And
gonna
they
take,
won't
that'll
do
probably
it.
take long,
They think
well,
it's a
who wants it all in one?
mistake.
They're just saying they don't want it now.
No, they
Well, they
can't
did
say that
before.
now.
We
We
only
voted
put-
on it.
We brought it to them before about splitting it.
Mm.
Yeah, and they didn't want
One.
one. Right, so we're waiting for them now.
Well, no, now we're gonna be waiting for the reason why they suggest we don't implement that.
Okay.
So we can't take a vote on
Yeah.
it.
So we gotta kick it back
No.
to MMA and steer
What
the
it-
people.
Yes.
See, in my mind, we
Okay, so
should have
I make a
at
motion
least,
that we table this right now.
because it's
so we
gotta
get a
be
hold of
done by,
Maine
I
Municipal
think it's
and the steering
Tuesday.
committee and work
We
this
at
out.
least
how
ought to
they-
let them separate
If the
the
steering committee
two.
wants to divide it,
Yeah.
and
So we
why
can
Maine
get that
Municipal wants to do
five-member
that.
board,
That's the motion
board
that I
vote,
make.
yeah.
To table it till we find out further things.
Well, you know why they don't wanna do it, because it's an ordinance and not a bylaw.
Well, they never said, they never told us that.
They never said
Oh,
that.
they didn't?
No.
No, we don't know that. That's why
That's
we
what
wanna
Lewis
know.
is coming back at us with,
Well,
so,
Lewis is probably right.
he's right, I'm sure.
Right.
So,
But I mean, I prefer the ordinance, that way there, the townspeople got a say in what's being done. But why does Maine Municipal say we don't have to too? You know, they probably run into something in another municipality that we don't know
They would
about.
like to see the ordinance,
Okay.
yes, but
I second that
They wanna
motion,
know.
we table it till we hear, till we get our clarification from
the
MMA.
municipals
Okay, the
issue,
motion
and
is
yeah, I'm gonna have time. to
Table
get
it.
those in
Change it
Till we
to
hear MMA.
Before we meet the deadline for the election.
discussion.
The suggestion not to,
Yeah, it sounds like they're still saying that, but I don't know, I hate to see us miss a chance to get that five-member board.
Okay.
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 And it's seconded by Mark.
yeah,
Any discussion?
And I know we
Nope.
talked
All
about,
in favor?
shoot, I lost her again.
can I bring up, new business while we're right here?
I keep losing the signal.
Something real simple is,
If you go outside, you.
Perrin and Sweden both got
You're in a metal
lots
building,
of,
is your problem.
plowing. We'll plow to the Nutting Road on the Carson Road. And then we'll plow all the Tangle Ridge.
Yep,
And that was done before, when I was here, and much better, because your turnarounds are safer.
yep, yep.
Perrin wants us to do that, and New Sweden wants to,
Thomas.
yeah, we plow all of Thomas, and they plow all of Alderson.
Okay,
And the mileage is pretty close to the same thing.
yep.
It's,
There's
it,
no turnarounds in the middle of the road.
well, right, you don't have
Towards
to,
the end of the road.
right, because both turnarounds are, hard to get in and out of.
Yep.
So it is easier and it's faster when you put your plow down to go the whole length of the road.
Okay.
And I just wanted to make sure that it was okay with you guys to,
Talk to, Paul Coy.
As long as Paul Coy's,
well, Paul Coy brought New Sweden, Don LeBrie seen me,
yep,
and I said I had talked to Paul and you guys. And then Paul brought it up to me about Perrin, and I said I had to talk to you guys.
Perrin is Nutting and Tangle Ridge.
Yes, that's,
Which one are we gonna do?
we're gonna do, the Carson Road to Nutting,
Carson to Nutting, and they're gonna do Tangle Ridge?
all of Tangle Ridge.
Okay.
yep.
Okay, and that's gonna be Perrin, it's
Yeah.
gonna be that. And who's plowing for Perrin?
I don't know. I don't think they hired, it's contracted, I don't know who it is.
No,
Was
Robert.
it off last year?
It's somebody up in High Meadows.
Oh, yeah, yeah, the Rustic Retreat guy.
Okay.
Williams.
And then in New Sweden is, it was Don LeBrie that come to me about that. Because right now, he's the only guy plowing.
On LaBrie, they're gonna do, New Sweden's gonna do Thomas.
No,
We-
Bond,
Oh, Bonson. Okay. And, New Sweden is gonna do,
No, it's a better deal for
Yeah.
us that way in New Sweden.
and Woodland's gonna do
Almost
Thomas.
as much easier to plow.
And it's just for plowing and sanding. Any water problems,
They've done
it's
it,
theirs.
that's nothing new, they've done that before.
Yeah, we've done it with Perrin before, so,
Okay,
you know, and we've done it with New Sweden during, not all the time, but say they were down and out or something, yeah, we'll go help you out.
Parents
It's
would do,
just
plow
being
the
good
house
neighbors.
another mile.
Yeah,
When they're plowing.
I'll make a motion.
Under
to
Rosemary
follow
and
through
Sarah's
with the
on the
highway
table originally.
suggestion
it's easier, yeah.
of Sweden and Perry.
Okay, second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
okay.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Okay, now we gotta make a motion to reject this.
Okay.
Hang on, let me see, motion is made by,
Yeah.
second by,
Chris?
Yeah, that's good, you don't mind.
Chris,
Okay.
all in favor?
Okay,
That way there, that's taking care of the boys,
yeah.
and it'll be easier for them, cause I know on that Carson Road,
Turning at Medore's there.
yeah, that's just a little field, there's a deep ditch,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just safer.
All right, so we get to go into, make a motion to go into executive session
What time?
at, I think it's the real time off my phone, 10:52
Okay.
for personnel.
Motion by Matt, second.
Oh, yeah.
Any discussion? All in favor?